Good morning, students, and a very warm welcome to all of you in this e-learning session that is organized by Shri Gyanmanjri Vidyapith. Welcome to Science by Harsha ma'am. This is the lesson. Now we will do one thing, that is we are going to check out each and every lesson through the textbook. Okay, because we are using Prachi textbook, we will see everything from Prachi textbook. So that you will come to know which are the important points in the textbook. Up till now, what we have done is, we have done everything on the basis of the notes and everything. But textbook reading, that is generally happening. This is the way that we are going every year. That is, I make the child explain the content, and after the content is done, we go through the textbook reading. Now you have to keep your textbook along with you, and we will discuss once again all of the chapters from textbook, so that you come to know actually what you have to learn, what you have to read, what you have to understand. All this way, the things will become more and more clear to you. Presentation, the slides have been already discussed. From today we are going to discuss the chapter from the textbook. This is the lesson, and these are the very first thing that you are having, that is the terms to remember. Horticulture crops, large scale cultivation of vegetables and fruits. What is it called as? Horticulture. Manuring, you are knowing that you are adding very important things such that all the nutrients, the soil becomes nutrient rich. That is something which is manure. Then comes transplantation. This we had discussed when we were discussing chapter 1. For some of the plants, they are first kept in the nurseries, and afterwards they are shifted to the main gardens. So that is what is plantation. Process of shifting seedlings from the nursery to the main field. Drip irrigation, that is drop by drop, the water is reaching to the plants. The technique of irrigation in which water is released drop by drop, near the roots. Then comes fertilizer. It is a man-made organic compound, or the mixture of compounds which provides specific nutrients. This is the main difference between the manure and fertilizer. In manure, all the nutrients are coming, while in fertilizer, a particular type of nutrient is given to the plant. Then let us move further. Weedicides, these are the chemicals which are generally destroying the unwanted plants, which are called as weeds. Buffer stock, very big reserve stock. During the lockdown of COVID, you know that government was providing food grains and some things to the poor people, and even those people who are in need. Not poor, but yet there were many people who were not able to satisfy the basic needs of food. For them, government had arranged. Now, how they were able to arrange? They were able to arrange because of this buffer stock. Some amount of food is already kept every year, so that whenever such kind of things are occurring, at that time they can use it for the benefit of the people. So that is what buffer stock is. Huge reserve stock of food grains maintained by the government to meet any type of food scarcity. You know already that it happened in the COVID days. Many of the people were not even able to get 2 meals a day. For them, many programs were arranged. There were many people who gave this type of services on their own, even except the government. So Buffer stock is something that is government is keeping some amount of food stock with them so that whenever there is any kind of food scarcity, they can use it well. Apiculture. It is the rearing of honeybee on a large scale. Now next, what is agriculture? It is over here. Cultivation of the soil and rearing of animals, together it is called as agriculture. Meaning of the word agar is what? Field. And cultura means cultivation. So in the field the cultivation is being done. Maybe of any of the plant. So cultivation of the soil and rearing of rearing of animals, together what it is called as agriculture. So that is what it is, agriculture. Then comes crop plants. What is the meaning of the word crop? When a large proportion of same type of crop is grown, means same type of plant is grown on a large area, it is called as crop. So same kind is grown in large quantity in a particular field, what is called as crop. And the products are called as crop produce. Which are the main crops which are grown in India? They are this, that is rice, wheat, maize. Okay, so that is about the given thing. Then moving to the next page, you also may turn the page. Here are the some plants which are grown in India. Which are those? The cereals or grain crops, these are rice, wheat, maize. Fiber crop, jute, cotton. Dal are grams, peas, beans, oil seeds, mustard, groundnut, sunflower. Root crops, sweet potato, carrot. Tuber crops, potato, tapioca, ginger. Sugar crops, they are sugar cane and beetroot. And plantation, that is coffee, tea, rubber. So next is cereal plants are the tall grasses which are grown for the nutrients. They are the staple food and the major part of diet, especially in India. Rice, wheat and maize, they are the most commonly cereal crops. Okay. Cereals like rice and wheat, they provide carbohydrates, and pulses are rich in proteins. Coconut are used for making oil. Coconut, mustard and sunflower. And India is producing about how much amount? These are not coming in the exam. We are least concerned, but still 200 million. That means it can feed more than 100 crore people. Okay, so more than 100 crore people can consume that much amount of wheat we are producing, but we are more than 100 crore. You might have heard in Modi's speech, we are about 135 crore people. Then comes this horticulture. This is very important for from examination point of view. Horticulture, that is the vegetables, fruits and flowers, they are grown on the large scale. What is that called as? Horticulture. Flower, vegetable, fruit, horticultural crops. That is, what is the meaning of the word hortus? It means garden, and culture means cultivation. Okay, and the vegetables and fruits are provided, and here are the crops. The vegetables, potato, tomato, whichever you remember you can write. Fruits name, whichever you remember you can write. Decorative plants, crotons, cactus and bougainvillea. If we talk about this decorative plants, then in that you might have seen this kind of plants whenever you are entering the school, wherever the plants are there, at that time this kind of plants are generally kept. And cactus, generally most of the people dislike cactus because of its properties, like it is a thorny like a plant. But one of the very important factor which we can learn from cactus is it is the only plant which is growing even in the desert region. So always take the positive things from everyone. Only plant which can grow even in the desert region, that much willpower it is having. That means there is something very big to learn from cactus. Then comes flowers. these are rose, jasmine, marigold, balsam, whichever flower's name you remember, you can write. Here are few. Okay, so horticulture, and it is one of the important topic. So I want you people to read this once again. I'm giving you just 1 minute time. Only read it. You can even read it from the video right now or from your textbook, because this is one of the important content. Then coming to the crop season. Mainly there are two crop seasons which are given in your book. Actually there are three. They are this, that is Rabi season and Kharif season. Now what is the meaning of this word, that is Rabi crops? Important thing is those crops which are grown during winter. What are they called as Rabi crops? And what is the duration? They are lasting from October to November. October, November to March, April. That means uh, during the winter, and so these are called as winter crops. The main crops are this, that is wheat, gram, barley, potato, mustard. These are the Rabi crops. So again, as far as exams are concerned, this is an important answer. Okay, since you are lower standards, you are learning this. Then comes the Kharif crop. Crops which are sown during the rainy season. What are they called as? The Kharif crops. When does the rain starts from? It starts from June approximately and lasts till September, October. And these are also called as summer crops. Uh, these are sown in the beginning of the monsoon and harvested at the end of the monsoon. Paddy, maize, groundnut, cotton, pulses are some type of Kharif crops. Okay, so this is what you already know now. Plants which are grown in the large quantity, what it is called as crop produce. The plants that are cultivated plants, they are called as crop produce, and large scale cultivation of vegetables, fruits, it is called as horticulture. Then Rabi crops and Kharif crops. Important point, from October, November to March, April, it is called as Rabi crop. From June, July to September, October, it is called as Kharif crop. The examples are also important. Here you are having the questions, and you can write it now, just now only. Which are the crop seasons of our country? Rabi and Kharif season. Two crop plants which are grown in our country. You can name any, many are grown, whichever we have discussed. Horticulture crops, those fruits, vegetables. You can write any of the answer and name two decorative plants, which are the croton, cactus. Okay, so just now only, come on, write these answers quick. Write the answer, after that I will also write. Be quick. I hope you have written which are the crop plants that are commonly grown, maybe rice, wheat. You can write any. Then next, two horticulture crops. Any of the horticulture crops you may write. You can from this part. कोई भी आप लिख सकते हो. This at the bottom. Any of the vegetable, any of the fruit, any of the decorative plant, any of the flowers you can write. Okay. So this is what we were and where we were. The two horticulture crops you can write potato, tomato. Then next two crop seasons, that is Kharif season and Rabi season. Then two decorative plants, cactus and crouton. So this is what you can remember. Next comes agriculture implements, that means which are the things that are being used by all the farmers so that they are able to grow the crop. So here are the common implements: the plow, the hoe, seed drill, kurpa and cultivator. We have already discussed about it. What is plow used for? It is used for loosening and turning up the soil. And what it is made up of? It is generally made up of wood or iron, and this way it is looking like. Okay, the tractor is driven through the tractor driven plow, what it is called as the cultivator, this like thing, which will help in cultivating. What does it contain? It contains a thick triangular iron strip, okay, and the long part of the wood which is called as plow shaft, this big part which is called as plow shaft, and there is a handle over here and a beam at the upper end. Here you can see this is the beam and it is placed over the animal's neck, and nowadays they are made up of iron. Okay, so just have a look at the diagram and it will be clear, and just read this part from upload to being used. Read it just once. Note it down. So I hope you have read this part. Next, hoe. You can see it over here in your textbook. It is the implement which is used for removing the weeds and for loosening the soil. What it is containing? A very big rod which you can see over here. So this is a big rod which is generally used, and a strong, broad and bent iron plate, this over here, it is fixed at one end and it acts as a blade for removing all the weeds. And this beam over here, it is placed on the bullock necks. So this is how the hoe is used. Next is the seed drill. We have already discussed about the seed drill. It is something like this over here, and over here the grains are kept, and through this one by one at equal spacing there will be sowing of the seeds. Seed drill, it is why used? It is used for sowing the seeds. It will sow the seeds uniformly at proper distance and depths. What does it contain? A long vertical tubes with funnel shaped seed bowl at the top. Seed bowl at the top and this many tubes. You can see it over here. and it is attached to the plow. Seeds are placed in the seed bowls and the furrows are made. So it will also cover the it covers the seed with the soil after sowing, and ultimately it will prevent the loss of the seeds. Then comes trowel or kurpa and harrow, that is over here you can see. Why it is used? For loosening the soil and removing the weeds. Both these things will occur simultaneously. Weeds will also get removed and the soil will also get loosened up. Then comes this, that is next, basic practices for crop production. There are 9 and we have already done this as a part of our syllabus when I had taken one lecture NCERT based. But now we are doing it Prachi textbook based. So these are the 9 practices which are generally done for the crop production. Only read the name. Okay, then we will move further. One by one I'll teach you. Only read it. The 9 practices, only read fast. So I hope you have read all these 9 practices. Coming to the very first one, that is how to select selection of location and nature of the soil, the very first one. Now how will you select any particular type of soil? Whichever plant, wherever you want to grow, you just have to first check out about which type of crop can be grown. In all the types of soil we cannot grow a particular type of crop. For example, if you want to grow tea and coffee, then this particular temperature and this particular soil is not at all suitable for it. Yes, for a particular type of plant you need particular amount of temperature, particular amount of rainfall, particular amount of water needs to be given to it, particular amount of soil needs to be given. So these are the basic things. For healthy growth of the plants, what does it need? It needs this, that is air, which is oxygen, sunlight, water and nutrients. But the proportion in which they need all these things is differing from crop to crop. Yes, different crops they need different kind of soil and nutrients. And so, very important step in the agriculture is the right choice of the soil and its location. As I said, we cannot have the tea gardens over here. For that, it's the Assam, you are already knowing. That place is the best. Some things are grown only in the hilly regions. So, for a particular type of crop, a particular amount of temperature, then rainfall and a particular type of soil is needed. So the very first thing is selecting the location and the nature of the soil. So some of the useful suggestions which are given in your book are over here. That is, the crop should be kept in the open so that there is sufficient amount of sunlight. Next is it should be properly fenced so that the cattle will not harm it, and it should contain all the type of nutrients, and the soil may get tested for its quality at any of the soil testing center. Even you might be like, it is a very big thing for soil testing. If you are giving it in any of the labs for testing the soil, like it is having which nutrients and in which proportions and which crops can be grown in it. For that the testing is being done. And yes, if the farmer is applying, if you are having the particular form of the farmer, that means identity as a farmer, then they are doing it for a very low cost of about rupees 10 to 20. But if you don't have that, the centers where this type of testings are done, if we don't have that type of identity as a farmer, then they are costing 3000 rupees. So that is the difference. The government is also helping the farmers in getting all the soil getting tested. Many yojanas for the poor farmers are being done so that they are not at loss. So that is the basic thing. Next is the preparation of the soil, which includes three things, that is plowing, leveling and manuring. We are knowing that the process in which the soil is getting loosen up and turn up, that is called as tilling or plowing. The traditional plows, which are made up of wood and they are driven by animals, but nowadays it is done with a tractor. Here you can see the cultivator. These are the advantages of it. If it is getting turning and loosening of the soil, what it will bring? It will bring the nutrient rich soil to the top. It permits easy and deep penetration of the roots, and because the tilling will be done, there will be good aeration to the roots, proper amount of oxygen and air they will get. It will promote the growth of very useful soil bacteria, earthworm. You already know it is called as the friends of the farmer. And this bacteria, you are knowing, they are helping in providing the nutrients to the soil. Okay, so this is the advantage of plowing. Okay, read only the advantages, only this advantages, only read. I am not asking you to write. Quickly just read. So I hope you have read. Now you already know that plowing or tilling means we are it is when it is plowed, then the bottom part, from the bottom part little bit of soil will come up, and this way it will become the surface will become rough. So in order to see that everything remains bit smooth, we are having leveler. The plowed land is leveled and pressed tightly, pressed with the help of the wooden plank or this type of material it is, that is the iron leveler. It will, these are the functions of it. It will break or crush the big chunks into small one, protect the upper layer of the soil from the soil erosion and prevent the water locking, and it will promote the uniform irrigation. Again, very important points regarding the leveling. Then comes manuring. What is manuring? You are mixing organic substances like the animal and the plant waste into the soil. So manures are rich in this particular elements. You have to mark this. They are rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. Okay, and commonly used manures are this farmyard manure, that is, it is containing animal dung, straw, leaves. Then next is green manure, all the greenery, all the agricultural waste commonly from the leguminous crops, it is again plowed back into the soil. Ultimately, it will help out the soil to become rich in particular nutrients. Compost manure, it is made from the cattle shed waste and the dry leaves. Uh, okay, so before sowing, we are adding the manure. This is what is again important point. So you have to read first about leveling and types of manure. Read it. Only just read it, then we'll move further. Then you're having the activity which we'll see later. Selection of the seeds and the sowing. After the field is prepared, seeds are selected, and while selecting the seeds, following things are the things we need to keep in mind. Select only good quality of seeds which are disease resistant and high yield seeds. Again, the seed testing is also possible, like soil testing होता है वैसे भी seed testing भी होता है. So treat the seeds with a fungicide before sowing, and these are the ways by which the uh, seeds can be grown. This method is broadcasting, means you just have to take in your hand and just you have to whirl it, and till long amount of time jahan tak cha sake you can just throw it. It is like that. That is broadcasting. And sometimes it is also done by mechanical broadcasters. Next is using the seed drills which we discussed before. It will save the time, and properly at particular places the seeds will be sown. As the plow will move, it will make the furrows into the soil, and we will be able to sow the seeds. This is again very important thing to note. The damaged seed, if it is there, then it will float, and whenever you are putting it into the water, it will float. So that type of seeds should not be grown. Next is this transplanting, very important thing. Some of the crops like paddy, tomato, onion, they are not directly sown into the main field, and uh, in a small seed bed nursery it is kept, and when they become bit big, that is they have 4 to 5 leaves, at that time we are taking them into the main field. So here are its advantages which are important. It will enable selective cultivation of the healthy seedling, so there will be better crop production. It will permit better root penetration into the soil and allow the better shoot development. Root as well as shoot will be developed. Okay, read the advantages of transplantation. Be quick. So this is about the transplantation. Next is over here irrigation. We are knowing that proper amount of water needs to be given to the soil. So seed need water to germinate and plants need water to draw nutrients from the soil. Why? For their growth and for making the food for photosynthesis. To maintain the moisture of the soil, healthy crop growth and fields should be watered at proper interval, and the watering of the crops at different intervals, what it is called as irrigation. The time and frequency of irrigation, it will vary from crop to crop and from soil to soil. These are the examples of it. The frequency of irrigation is summer is higher due to increased rate of evaporation. Even not only plants, we also need more amount of water in the summers, so ultimately the plants are going to need it. Sandy soil will need more water than clay soil. Different crops, they will need different amount of water at different stages of life, and more water is needed before tilling at the flowering and at the grain development stage. So these are the important things which you need to memorize. Wheat, gram and cotton, they need the proper, at regular intervals they need water and not the standing water, while rice needs standing and continuous irrigation. Sources of irrigation. For irrigation, water can be obtained from various sources like wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams and canals. There are two methods, amongst them traditional and the modern methods of irrigation, and here are the name of it. The various types which are over here. The tube well method, maybe with the help of any pump or anything, the water is drawn and it is allowed to flow. Swing basket method, in that on the both the ends the persons are holding the water into the swing and they are allowing it to moving it like this, and they are seeing that the water is reaching to the plant. Next is this water wheel method. In water wheel method, over here the water from the wheel, when it will come up, it will flow on the crop like this. So this is the way they are helping in the sending the water to the fields. Directly with the help of this particular more amount of force, they will be able to fetch the water and then they will pass it on. Moat, again somewhat something like that. And the rath, over here, the with this wheel, the connection is such that whenever the bullock will move, water from this particular baskets, it will directly get thrown up to the field. So these are the ways by which traditionally the irrigation was done. Next is modern methods. Amongst them sprinkler. As when I was doing the lesson bit quickly, we went over there because some amount of exams were there, so NCERT based the content was done. Now we are doing it from textbook. Sprinklers, they are generally present and in all the directions they will throw the water. Drip irrigation, drop by drop the water will be available. Next is lift irrigation. From any particular lower beds or any particular way, by using the diesel pumps and everything, we will lift the water and then wherever needed it will be sent. So here it is, water cannot be provided in the fields which are at higher level, and at such places lift irrigation scheme is installed, okay, in the rivers or canals wherever needed, and then water is supplied. Next very important thing, that is water logging. Water logging means when more amount of water than needed is provided. Yes, when more amount of water is given to the soil, what will happen? It will become wet, and that is called as water logging or excessive irrigation. It is harmful to the crops. How? More amount of water and wet soil, it will not allow proper aeration, and it will increase the amount of salts into the soil that will ultimately damage the soil and its fertility will get reduced. So these are important points, read it quick. So I hope you have read that part. So that's all the content for today. We'll meet in our next particular lecture with the next particular topics, and we will go through the lesson chapter 1 from the textbook because NCERT based chapter was done. The notes were given. Now textbook based revision. Okay, so that's all. Have a very good day. See you in the next lecture with the next particular further topics. We have done 4 agricultural practices, 5 are left out. We will meet again with the textbook content, Prachi textbook content. That's all. Bye bye.